since Donald Trump took charge of the White House, his administration has been firm with Pakistan. But despite stern warnings, Pakistan has shown no signs of mending its ways. And despite its tough posturing, US support in the form of aid continues to pour into Islamabad. Only this week, as a part of his budget plans, the US president proposed giving more than $300 million in civil and military aid to Pakistan. Though observers say that Trump has been consistent, at least in his rhetoric, they point out that his actions have fallen short. On the plus side, though, it's not just the US president now. Others in Washington are also speaking out against America's old ally, Pakistan. Dan Coates, the director of national intelligence in the Trump administration, went on record yesterday about his department's latest worldwide threat assessment report. The purpose of this report is to arm American lawmakers and policy experts with the intelligence they need to create new laws and policies. And Pakistan features prominently in this year's report. Court sees the expansion of Pakistan's nuclear arsenal as a threat. The report says that new nuclear missiles and weapons pose a risk to escalation dynamics and security in this region. But there's another point of concern for courts, and that is Pakistan's continued support for terrorists on its soil. This is what he said.
Based militant groups continue to take advantage of their safe haven to conduct attacks in India, in Afghanistan, including U.S. interests therein. Pakistani military leaders continue to walk a delicate line. In the last month, the administration has designated 8 militants affiliated with the Taliban, Haqqani Network, and other Pakistani militant groups. And we assess that Pakistan will maintain ties to these militants while restricting counterterrorism cooperation with the United States.
The head of United States intelligence community also says that the steps being taken by the Trump administration are just not enough to contain Pakistan. But the US government is working behind the scenes to put more pressure on Islamabad. The Trump administration has filed a motion to put Pakistan on a global terrorist financing watch list, which is maintained by the United Nations terror financing watchdog. This motion is likely to be discussed during the plenary session of the Financial Action Task Force, or FATF, which begins on the 21st of February. If it goes through, Pakistan will be named and shamed before the global community for not taking sufficient measures to counter money laundering and terror financing. And it will be more difficult for Pakistan and more expensive to get foreign funding. 4 days from today, an Indian delegation is expected to attend preliminary meetings in Paris on this. The aim of these meetings will be to build consensus against Pakistan. Islamabad obviously has begun lobbying against this move, but for now it seems its cosmetic efforts to impose technical bans on terror outfits of the likes of Hafiz Saeed may not be enough to prevent the international embarrassment it faces. The world knows that such bans are not even worth the paper they're printed on. Meanwhile, US intelligence chief called Pakistan's bluff while delivering a recorded statement before the Senate Intelligence Committee. Dan Coates criticized Pakistani military operations against terrorist groups. He did not buy Pakistan's untruthful claims that it has taken significant steps to tame the Taliban. He said that Pakistani military operations do not reflect a significant escalation of pressure. Coates then went on to say that any action, if at all it has been taken, is unlikely to have a lasting effect. The US intelligence chief also raised a concern. He said that ties between India and Pakistan are going to remain tense in the foreseeable future. Violence on the line of control will continue if there is no desire to change the status quo. He also said that there is a risk of an escalation if there is another high-profile terrorist attack in India or more violence along the line of control. And these comments come after the Sunjwan army camp in Jammu was attacked, allegedly by terrorists from the Jaish-e-Mohammed based in Pakistan. The Indian government and the army have categorically blamed Pakistan's military and ISI. They say that the terrorists behind the attack were supported by Pakistan's military establishment.